sir. Well, I gotta call you Rennie.
You can
Yeah.
call me whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me late to dinner. Like,
Oh my goodness. Welcome, 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 everybody. Rennie, listen, I am so excited about a conversation we're getting ready to have. But yeah, it's so good to be walking heavy with you again. As you know, we started walking heavy during the pandemic, so 5 years ago, and when the world was heavy. And this fucking world is heavy again. Amen. So we need
heavy.
to bring it back.
Wait,
Okay. How have you
heavy.
been?
I have been in this really tough relationship with Minnow and Paws.
Oh,
Um,
you know,
um, healing, living, loving, trying to figure out what in the world is, well, I'm not trying to figure out what's happening around, it's a lot. It's a lot.
mhm,
So I've just been healing
yeah.
because I was going through a lot of physical challenges, if you recall. And so um, when you got stuff to do, like I just was talking to my body, like, this is enough. Like, I have
Mhm.
things to do. And with everything that's going on in this world, if I'm not mobile, I can't do them.
Right.
And
Right.
so that just set me down a different path of health and wellness and shifting and leaning into understanding I'm more than one thing, you
Hmm.
know, and that's okay.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. Well, it's so good to see you.
Good to see
And
you.
so good to be back in the studio with you. And yeah, we ran for 2 seasons back in the day. And guess what I found before we bring on our new co-host, because I'm so excited that we have a new co-host to introduce. But guess what I
Me
found,
too.
Renee?
What did you find?
I found our original intro.
What?
And I'm playing right now. Right. 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 Right.
You know what? I feel like I'm on one of those award shows where they do the montage and the person is sitting there with tears in their eyes. Like, that's how I just felt. Good morning, everyone. I see just everyone popping up, and whew, we've, I've missed you.
Yeah. 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 We miss you
I
too.
definitely
I
have
want
missed you.
to, so those of you who are joining us, if you're come here expecting Inspire, the Walking Heavy Show has taken over Inspire today. I want to invite you to stay, but if cussing offends you, I'm giving a disclaimer right now. You might want to sit this one out, okay? But I do
Please.
invite you to share this conversation because we're about to get real and talk about the crap that's going on in our world today. But before we do that, we have a new co-host. We got new co-hosts. Getting ready to put Q
I'm
on
cheering
the
behind it.
stage. She on here. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Listen. What's up, good people? It's your girl Q. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. Thank y'all so much for having me on Walking Heavy. I like to walk heavy and cussing, and so I came prepared with all of my words lined up to give out to the people in case you might have forgotten a cuss word that you never used before. I got a new one for you today. Amen.
Well, since she won't talk about herself, Q embodies creativity, confidence, and a whole lot of soul. She's a powerhouse artist. She's a truth teller, right? And she belongs to me. Amen.
Glory to Aya. Aya.
We are excited. And we're really excited to have your voice and your energy in this space, because I think it's going to take Walking Heavy to the next level. If you don't know who she is, she's also known as Najee. That is her I would say her other persona. Okay. So you check out her website at Najee Room, www.najeeroom.com, and follow her, and you see her handle on the I Am Najee Official. Follow her there as well. But we have another amazing individual who is going to join us in our conversation today. Her voice has grounded so many of us, right? Especially those of us who are in seminary, right? And we have her book right here on the shelf. And we go to it often, right? Theologian, activist, truth teller, fellow cusser, Dr. Pamela Lightsey. And so we're so excited to have you joining us, Dr. Lightsey.
Hey. I was wondering, how the fuck did I get invited on the show? What the fuck? Okay. They told me I could use all my words, so what is this?
We got some stuff to talk about, Dr. Lightsey. Like, what's going on in 2025?
For real. Yeah. Y'all we got some stuff to talk about.
We got some stuff. Oh yeah, that's even though Walking Heavy is taking over Inspired, we still gonna ask what you're sipping on. What you got in your cup, Dr. Lightsey?
Oh, I'm clean this morning. It's too early. Well, it's never too early, but this is just some coffee with it has cardamom spice in it.
Oh,
I love that kind of spice in my coffee.
Yeah. I love that little fancy.
A little razzle dazzle.
Little spicy. Rennie, what you got in your cup?
In my Lion King tower here, I have mushroom coffee with some sea moss and burdock root, with some vital protein in it, as well as some cinnamon and a dash of nutmeg, mixed in with oat milk coffee cake creamer. Thank you very much.
I love it. So you got shits in a cup.
This is early, Q. You already messing with people's menus already. Start the day off messing with people's what folks eat and drink.
It's up.
Yes, I will. That's what we're going to call
We're not
this
gonna act
now.
like that was all of Mother Earth in one cup.
It was everything.
I got to get it in. I told you about my affair with Minnow and Paws.
You did.
I mean, sea moss, burdock root, everything, child.
The only question is all of that gonna have you getting up and running to the bathroom in the middle of this broadcast?
Not in the middle, but at the end.
Okay. At the end, you gonna
Don't
release.
be touching cotton. You be touching cotton. Some of y'all heard that? Move, bitches, move.
Listen, you might have to have Dr. Lightsey be another co-host.
We might have to come through once a month.
You hear me? It's up.
Q, what you got in your cup?
I got some decaf because it's never too early, and 2 shots of tequila. Amen. Because I got them in my cup. This is my Folgers. This is my Folgers this morning.
It's going to fold you all right.
You hear me? Huh? What did you say? Huh? What do people say? High and lifted up in all the earth.
It's who you are.
It's who you are. Listen, I see the people coming in. Hey, Sissy. Hey, Reverend Tanya. Hey, Minister Drew Thomas. What on? Oh my God, it's so good to see you. Pastor Joyce, thank you for joining us. Hey, Jalen, thank you for joining us. Minister Sandy Hudson, I see you. Let's see who else. Listen, if you're on, Asante Love. Hey, dear sister, thank you for joining us today. Dr. Jamie Edie, it's all right, Dr. J. You are right on time. Okay, you're right on time. My dear sister, Dr. Marilyn Pagan Banks. Good morning to you. Listen, the people out here, do me a favor and share. I didn't say what was in my cup, but it's decaf coffee with some caramel creamer. I made it myself, so it tastes like trash because they didn't make it for me this morning. But I'm gonna sip on it anyway. So let's get into some of our conversation today. And we have some talking points, but if other things come up, other things come up for you in the chat, you want to talk about it, please let us know. And we will lift it up. So the fuckery that has been 2025, right? I didn't want to wait until the end of the year to kind of talk about what's going on, because it's just one thing after the other. And so one of the things that I want to bring up, and I want all of us to chime in on, are these snap cuts. Okay, these snap cuts, these cuts to snap. Now, the reason I want to bring it up, outside of how many hundreds of families are going to go hungry, how many children are going to go hungry, is the fact that there are Black men. So, because, we Black and we going to talk to our brothers, okay? Black men are rejoicing over the cuts to SNAP because now they say it's only $40 for some kitty cat, right? They want single mothers. These predatory assholes want single mothers to be able to come to them because they have no choice. They have no choice, right? Because they got to do what they got to do to take care of their children. So I want to hear your thoughts on the snap cut. I want to hear your thoughts on these predatory men who are waiting, right? Waiting for women who are struggling to come, right? For the kids they don't take care of, right?
That part.
Right. Let me hear your thoughts on that, Dr. Lightsey.
Oh, you about to start. Well, there's a saying where I grew up. It says a stiff dick has no conscience. And a man who would treat a woman like that has absolutely no conscience. Absolutely no conscience, doesn't care about the woman. And really, what needs to happen is that the price of coochie needs to go up.
Need to.
Just like the price of gas goes up when it's scarce. We're on supply and demand now. Okay. Mm-hmm. So just like the price of gas goes up, the price of coochie should go up. For these predatory men.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that's the byline, if that's what they're on, that's where I am, because this to me, those kind of men are the gutter of the gutter. And I'm glad they represent, I think, a small percentage of men in this world. Yeah. I really believe that, but they're in the pit.
In the pit. Thank you, Dr. Lightsey. Rennie.
Well, I think they should do like they did when they wanted to have that discussion where they had that chat and all the men were chiming in, because it's not all the men that's making this. The men that are living off the women that get the food stamps, they're the ones that need to go to the brothers that's doing all of this and be like, stand down because you messing up my flow, right? I don't care to think, listen, I ain't been dangling from dingling since I was about 24 years old. But I've been watching... I've been watching how they speak in the relationship videos and the dating stuff and just all the things. Like, I don't think men fully and completely understand how much we as women hold. And if we go down, how much of the foundation goes down.
Yeah.
Because we're not just taking care of our children, we're taking care of our man. We might be taking care of his best friend and might be taking care of his side hoe if we giving him our money and that's where he's putting his money. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Like, I pay them no mind because most of the men that's having that conversation have to buy it anyway. They can't even get it for free. And so that's why they're upset in the first place. So now they're trying to get a discount on it because on a regular day, they can't afford it. Don't nobody want them. So they got to buy it. So I don't pay them no mind. They're not even worth my time.
And I don't know why sex becomes their main focus when people need to eat, when children are hungry, when seniors need to eat. Why all of a sudden are they lifting up that they can get cheaper, that they can spend less for, for sex during these, that those kind of men you really do not need to have in your life.
Facts. That's
Come on,
facts.
Q. What you got?
That's facts. I just say fuck them all. That's what I say. I have an issue. I saw a clip yesterday where I had a damn issue. This nigga is on live saying that he's excited about SNAP benefits being cut off because now you bitches who won't get off your ass and go get a job, now you gonna have to hustle and bustle. You're dumb as fuck. Because if you really understood that those with SNAP benefits are those who, it's not just those who don't work. There are people who work and still receive the SNAP benefits because they are not making enough. They're not making enough. So you sound dumb as shit. And I agree with the whole rising of the coochie with interest rates attached to it. Let's not play those games. Let's not sell ourselves short. If listen, if you want to buy, by all means, you do as you want. But it's gonna be a high price that you're gonna pay. Just like you can't go without gas. And I think one of our viewers said it. It's just like gas and ass, the prices need to skyrocket. It needs to skyrocket, but it is predatory behavior. It's nasty. And the fact that you make comments like that without fucking knowledge just signifies more how dumb you are. It's really, I mean, to me, shit. I say fuck them. You talking about you glad that them SNAP benefits gone, but how do you think you was gonna eat when you want to stay over at night? I'm just being for real. When you want to hit it and you ain't got a crib to go back to. So you need to stay overnight at my house, right? What fucking balagna sandwich you gonna eat? What balagna you gonna eat? You got a lot to say, but that red ribbon done saved your goddamn life a couple of times.
You got to cut it in the middle.
Do you hear me? With the bubble. Don't do that. Don't do that when you're going to be asking for some bars tomorrow. Don't do that.
And really, I want to be sure that we are not shaming those women who have to do that, right?
Absolutely.
Or who choose to do it, right? Because some of them it's a choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some is out of necessity.
But 92% of people receiving SNAP are living below the federal poverty level already. Yeah. So it's already a problem. And they're working. They're working. Right. These are hardworking people, not just women, oh, by the way. Not just women, by the way. And not just younger people, by the way, but children, seniors, men, all kinds of people who have disabilities, there are people all over who cannot earn a livable income. That's what we need to be talking about. Why in the world, in the richest country, in one of the richest countries in the world, are people dependent upon these benefits? You make people have to come to you with their hand out. They don't want to have to do that. They're working 2 and 3 jobs. But this country is just really horrible when it comes to poverty.
Fucked off, real fucked off. And at the end of the day, when you people, let's be for real. You've taken these SNAP benefits, right? I have the honor of working in childcare, and it's hard because those kids that come to childcare, what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of them don't get meals. Their parents bring them to childcare just so they can feed them. So while you're talking about these SNAP benefits, it affects everybody. As a person whose grandparent is still living, who was receiving SNAP. When you talk about gambling, Social Security, and I have a grandparent who received, you cut that off. You feel what I'm saying? You playing with people's livelihood.
Look, there were seminarians receiving. I received food stamps. My mother received food stamps when we were younger. Okay, you never know how you're blessing a future generation of scholars, of scientists, of artists, of that you need. People need this to get by, and children come to school hungry all the time. And oh, by the way, when I was in seminary, folk were in seminary needing food stamps and SNAP benefits. So they just cut the madness here.
And I wonder, and it's not even a wonder because this is by design. So if you starve are already starving people, right, who now have to resort to doing what the fuck they need to do to survive, that might mean going to steal some food out the supermarket, right? That might mean resorting to what they call criminal activity. So is it by design that, so now you're taking away the little that we have?
You know what's wild to me? What's wild to me is they are willing to take food out of people's mouths at the same time that they're celebrating raising funds for a $300 million ballroom. That's wild to me. Let me tell you something. I'm telling you, Sue, I've been saying this since you've known me for the past 20 some odd plus years. I don't think I'm from here. That's why I got an alien baby now. I don't think I am from here. Real talk, because the stuff that people excuse and lean into or advocate for, celebrate, is right now some of the most divisive, hateful, homophobic, phobic. It's just everything that I've ever seen in my life. And so when people are now figuring out ways to rationalize why it makes sense, I am not from here. So every time you see me raise her little Solera here, that's her name. It came on her adoption papers. I'm not from here because none of that makes sense to me. That not these same billionaires could have taken that same $300 million and poured it into a foundation that could have even paid everybody SNAP benefits if something like this came about. But no, we want this big ballroom because there's something that we're trying to show. Only thing we're trying to show is greed, what it looks like to look over people and disregard people. And other countries are looking and watching, and except for the countries that stand on the same principles that these people do, the other countries are crying for us, because they see not what is coming, they see what already is. And I think that's the piece that when I hear people talking, they're missing. They keep talking about what's coming. It is not coming. It already is. We're just watching it from different angles of the camera. But if we sat down and put all of those videos up on one of those big CCTVs, we would see the bigger picture. They are trying to erase us, kill us off, make them starve, then they will turn in on each other, eat themselves from inside out. I'm sorry.
But the thing with this is the majority of folk who receive SNAP are white folk. And so we represent, if you take Black and brown people and put them together, we barely, we just barely exceed the total percentage of white folks getting SNAP. Barely exceed them. And so they're willing to let this happen because they think they're hurting Black and brown people. That's the cruelty of it all. They're willing to let this happen because they want to hurt Black and brown people without recognizing that really the majority of people on SNAP are white folk. And white folk, by the way, who largely voted for Trump in those red states.
Who done fucked around and found out. Okay.
Repeatedly, you know. I saw something I think it was yesterday, where this mother-in-law refused to give this woman and her husband food, and who were losing their SNAP benefits. She said, I'm not giving you a damn thing because you voted for this man. And people were, oh, you shouldn't do that. You're hurting the children, and so on and so forth. Well, they fucked around, found out. You know, fucked around, found out. And really, I'm of the mind that because white people represent such a large majority of people in this country, they need to get to that red line moment where they are truly suffering before it'll hit them. Oh, this is at my door. This is not just Black. This is not just the people that I hate. This is just not Black and brown people. This really is hurting white folk here. Before they really recognize they have cut off their nose to spite their face. And that's sad. That's really sad. And meanwhile, Black and brown people have come back together. We understand mutual aid because we've been doing that historically. We know how to help them. We've been helping one another for decades. We've been helping one another come out from between that rock and a hard place. I believe that we will survive because we have historically understood how to help one another. But a lot of white people, this is not all of them, but a lot of white people don't know nothing about mutual aid because they've never had to really function in that way. I mean, across their communities. So it's always been capitalism. They've gone to bed with capitalism, believe in capitalism, believe that they pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, that they will be all right. And those people over there are just lazy. And so now the myth is sitting at their front door, and their grandmama ain't got no food. Their cousins are calling them, asking them for money. And so it's becoming, and oh, by the way, healthcare is about to just go crazy because the Affordable Care Act doesn't have the money that is needed to sustain it. So it's all coming back on them.
What you got to say, Q?
Shit. Because I feel like everything that's being said is facts. It's not opinions. It's factual information. You know, I crack up laughing because the other day we went to a Save-A-Lot. And if most Black folk know, Save-A-Lot is what they call the bottom of the barrel grocery store that is placed in demographically poor neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Now, it's only this one sausage that I can fucking find at the Save-A-Lot. And it used to be back in the day of Scott Peterson's, but it's called Scott Pete's. And if you're from Chicago, Gary, you know about a good beef sausage called a Scott Peterson. But you can only find them and Save-A-Lots, Save Mores, and it's actually going to be the most fucking expensive sausage that you buy in the Save-A-Lot because it done went up to $10.16.
It went to $10, yeah.
Right, for a pack of 6. And it tickles me because yesterday I had the chance to go into the store and I'm listening to this mother saying, well, you know, after tomorrow you won't be able to use your card, so I got to spend the last of my stamps today, because even if there's a balance left over, you will not be able to use the card. What tickled me was the amount of white folk and the influx of white folk that you are about to see at the Save-A-Lots. What you're thinking is bottom of the barrel is where a lot of these white folk like to go to get their stuff. Save-A-Lot has a fresh butcher in the back. So you get fresh cuts of meat, all depending on what kind of Save-A-Lot it is. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, you guys are not thinking about this in its totality. Dr. Lightsey brought up a very good point that Black and brown people are not the people who make up the majority of receiving SNAP. We are not. We are the ones who are actually more nervous about going to get the help because we automatically know when we walk in a building that we think we're automatically going to be denied, especially if you don't have 10 pieces of documentation saying why you need the SNAP benefits. So I think the shit is crazy. And the fact that it is going to definitely make healthcare plummet, looking at thousands. Who's going to be able to pay for insurance? $1,000 a month for insurance. Who's going to be able to do that when you making when let's be for real. In childcare, the most they're willing to pay you is $18 an hour. When you get done paying for your insurance plan, right? If you get insurance through the job, when you get done doing that and you say, you know, take care of all your tax stuff, you are roughly going to bring in $1,098 every 2 weeks. Let's take away the kids. What the fuck does that do for a person who has rent, which you can no longer find at $500? Their rent just for a 1-bedroom, and let's just say you're bunking with somebody, is gonna be from $900 to $1,000 a month. That's not including electricity, food, gas. So if you're just single and you making $18 an hour, you need insurance. $1,098 every 2 weeks. That's with you not missing a day. That's a flat 80 hours. What are you supposed to do with that every 2 weeks? God forbid you trying to be an adult and you got you a car. You're trying to be responsible and get back and forth to work. You couldn't afford to buy here, pay here because it would take you too long. So you got a car with a car note. You need car insurance. I mean, let's just be, people are overworked and underpaid.
That's it right there. That's it right there.
Period.
And if a person works 2 and 3 jobs, stop saying this stupid shit about they're lazy, which is why they need SNAP. How the hell is a person lazy when they get up and work 2 and 3 jobs in one day, shift after shift after shift? And there's nothing lazy about that. You know what's lazy? Is Congress, who been on recess for damn weeks, and that sorry ass president they have up there, who South Korea trolled by giving him a McDonald's sandwich hamburger, and he thought that was, you know, everybody's, you know, they got the menu that South Korea had with this glaze of ketchup on it. The bitch had a cheeseburger. And they made it look real good. But I'm appalled at the way this country sets up racism and how racism really drives this country's economy, has always driven this country's economy. And we're seeing more and more of it now. And oh, by the way, you know, when before Obama was in office, you know, one of the jokes that used to be told and was on, they make little segments on about it on comedy shows, would be, what if we ever got a Black president? If we ever got a Black president, they were going to have barbecues on the White House. They were going to have a basketball court on the White House. They were going to have this cookout, that cookout on the White House. And what has this bitch done? He has torn up stuff. He has taken things. He does not ask for permission. He just breaks all the laws. So you elect a criminal and you get criminal behavior. And that's what I've been thinking about. It's criminal to have hungry people have to stand and beg for their food. That's criminal.
Pimping America. That's exactly Pimping America. That's exactly what they said the slaves are lazy too. That our slave ancestors
Absolutely
were lazy.
And their women couldn't even breastfeed their children. How lazy you got to be if you can't lift up your tata and feed your own child? How lazy is that?
They say they wanted that real chocolate milk.
You know what?
They say that's what they want. They wanted the real chocolate milk. That's what it was. And we'll forever be lazy in America's eyes.
Yes.
We're which is so funny. Because Black and brown people are so fucking extraordinary to me and extremely smart. And the killer part is we've proven that we didn't need your educational systems to become that. We've proven that.
Yeah.
We didn't need your educational systems to become who we are, to know how to grab knowledge. Black people, if you took a library out of a demographic, black people don't have a problem with finding resources, which is so funny to me. We are the ones that are great at resources. So you do what you do. I guarantee you Black people will understand what it means to survive. It doesn't matter what demographic they come from, because all Black people did not come from the same demographic. But every nigga got a piece of hustle in them. Especially when you need to do what needs to be done.
And I just want to jump in to say that I think that leans, what Q just said leans kind of to Asati's question about solutions. Like for me, when I think of solutions, I'm thinking of it as it relates to my community. And I think the solutions are what we're talking about, taking care of each other, like, having those conversations. I've seen people posting online, hey, I'm not doing Thanksgiving this year because I'm going to make sure 2 other families eat Thanksgiving, or I'm going to cook a big meal and invite people over. Hey, I'm already calculating in my budget how to help my friend who I know gets SNAP benefits get food. I think part of the solution is leaning into communal care. So when people say to me, well, I'm going to just say how I feel. When people say to me, what are we going to do on the larger scale? I'm like, I'm not the larger scale. I'm not the larger scale. I'm worried about my community, what right here. Because if you would have done what you needed to do in the voting thing, we wouldn't be here.
But that's the larger scale. Everyone reach one, and connected together. That's what makes the big picture. Instead of people thinking we got to all come together. We didn't all come together when Martin Luther King was alive. We only have a small percentage of people who even supported the movement that Black people were leading. So we shouldn't be inhibited by that kind of myth that we need everybody before we can make something happen. We just each need to do what each one of us can do to make it happen, because that's what gets it over. And the communication, like you all are doing here, is what helps people to see things are happening. I hate to see when people say, well, nobody's doing anything. The fuck you talking about? People are doing stuff every day. And if you're looking for you're looking for some kind of major Messiah moment in America, that's not going to happen. It's each one of us doing what we can do. Now, instead, they make it seem like you got to do something big. And the journalists don't even cut that shit. For instance, when Bush told them that he had when this bullshitter here, I don't even want to, you know who's in office. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Baltimore.
He has a donor, a friend who is given $130 million to pay the troops. Nobody questioned that shit because it seemed like it's, $130 million. Oh, somebody's giving $130 million. First of all, how you know that's happening? That man is a bullshitter. Why is no journalist saying, how do we know? He lies about everything else. Why do we know that's happening? And secondly, $130 million for millions of troops? That's only like $100 for that 2-week paycheck. What the fuck? What you gonna do with $100 when you're trying to feed yourself and your family? If that's the case, that helps. We need to stop that. But people accept what he says because he knows how to tell a lie on a large scale, and journalists run with it. And we need to start stepping back and saying you can't make that make sense. The number's not numbering here.
It's called fact checking is what it's called.
And
you need to fucking right. Fact check, which we know across social media doesn't happen because we get all type of false shit that instantly we believe. And of course, people are swindled by dollar signs. And it's the dollar signs. It ain't even the digits behind it. It's it's the fact that there's a dollar sign. Fuck the amount. It's the dollar. We saw a dollar sign. This shit's about to happen. And that's how they feel. Oh, he said a dollar sign.
Q, we're in a time right now where people are using media to say and do things to tear apart communities. And so as we go through our list of topics, because I know we're coming on time soon, we
can extend it. If people got
we want to talk about weaponization of words, it's been a time for our community.
Listen, the queen, the queen and all the queens. Go ahead.
Yes, all the queens. All the queens. I mean, it's been a time in our community where we're finding ourselves now starting to look at what's coming out from within. You know, who's masquerading in the crowd. So when and I'm tying this back to that thing about solutions is also making sure, I've seen this phrase has been used numerous times. I'm not even trying to take credit for it. We also have to look at who's drilling holes in the boat while we're trying to get across. So if we're going to go into those kind of conversations, then let's talk about what it looks like when someone from the community or that we have made some type of shift, choice, difference, and in doing so, uses their words as weapons against the people that once held and supported. I think, Dr. Lightsey, you had a post about that. I loved that post. And I want to talk about that, if you would allow me.
Go ahead.
Because I want to know, I want someone to help me understand. How can someone say, and I'm not saying any names, and know when you hear me use the word Voldemort, those are for people that have no name to me. But I want to know how the Voldemorts of the world go about fighting so many things that society says about them. Then they get up one day And clearly, I'm not going to question no one's call or what mandate or what the Lord has said to them. But then you go out and then you get around other people. And then you say things like calling people demonic and calling them out of character and saying that they're not God's best and all these other things. Listen, I used to smoke crack, right? Real talk. I'm often in spaces with people that want to talk about people that smoke crack. And I turn around and I say to them, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to mind your business. Or why don't you go check on them or go help them or go see what they need or whatever. Don't sit around me and talk about quote unquote crackheads. Because even though I'm no longer one, I'm still protective of the stigma that has come along with it. So when I keep hearing people talk about people have the right to change and they have the right to shift, they have the right to evolve. Yes, I believe that. What I am questioning is how do you not defend the people that held you, kept you, surrounded you, ties to you, supported you, booked you, sponsored you? How? But again, I'm not from here, so.
Can we see
Yeah,
the baby again? Go ahead, Dr. Lightsey.
yeah, this is it's sad and it's maddening. Okay. You're being very kind. You're saying you don't know what God has said to them. And I'll say this as a preacher. God ain't told them that shit. I will say that. Because I wish preachers would stop lying on God. Preachers get it and evangelists and prophetess and all of these who they tell. I'm afraid to tell a lie on God. A lot of times when I'm preaching, I will say I feel inspired. Or I'll say this is what I see in the text. This is what I read in the text. It's a bold step to say, God said this. God told me to tell you this. That's a very bold step to take. And you should only take that step when you're 100% sure. But very often when people take that step, they're 100% sure only about themselves. And they project onto a whole lot of people. Okay. And in this particular situation, okay, the proof of the pudding is going to be in the eating. And I mean that pun right there. I really mean that, because this back and forth, the text does say a double-minded. I use King James Version because, these people, they believe in King James Version. It says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So if, as you say, God told you to come ye out from among them, you don't get no more booty for the rest of your life. You don't walk in the queer community. Nobody, you are persona non grata. You just stay out. You don't get to come back in. Now, some people might say, well, we give them a soft landing. No, not the way they have harmed the community. Not the way that they have done this kind of harm. They have built churches, have taken the people's money, have profited off of the people's money. And now a shift has happened. And if you notice in churches, really, this is dollars and cents here. If you notice in many churches across this nation, we have not yet come back from COVID, have we? So a lot of the attendance is off, isn't it? And if the attendance is off, guess what else is off? Come on, follow the money, people. Follow the money, people. If the attendance is off, the money is off, and the money is not coming in like it used to come in. So a lot of folk are looking for other avenues to continue to make this large amount of money. And you follow that money, you will follow adjacency to white supremacists, and they will pay you a hell of a lot of money to say that you are ex-gay, you are ex-queer. And they will parade you around, and you will make all kinds of honorariums. You will do all of that off the backs and off the love of the people who supported you to get to where you are. And we need to be careful with these kinds of preachers. We really do need to be careful with them. And so it troubles me when they do that, because you hurt a lot of people. This is why I wrote my book. I tell people God loves you unconditionally. And any preacher that comes back to you and tells you God loves you, but your lifestyle, you need to change your lifestyle, that's not somebody you want to listen to. And it's not lifestyle, by the way. You know, heterosexual people don't wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I'm heterosexual."
Speak.
You know, they don't make a choice. You are who you are. And oh, by the way, even if it was a choice, what the hell difference does that make to you? You're not putting no money in my bank account, no food on my table. You're not sleeping with me. People need to stop policing other people's genitals. Stop it. You know, and the
Eating, fucking, or financing.
That's right. And the only line I draw is abuse. Abusive sex, where you abuse somebody else. Rape, you know, where you're having sex with dead bodies, having, you know, sex with animals. That's abusive when you cannot have consent. But you have two consensual human beings. Leave folk alone. I don't think God is that interested in what we do with our genitals as a whole lot of these people want to make it out to be. Now y'all have me, y'all really set me off on that one.
No, I'm glad that you, no, I try to be a person, I consider myself the person that kind of like someone had to correct me one day because I used to say I'm just being a devil's advocate. And they were like, the devil don't need no advocate. And I had to sit back and figure out why I was always trying to make excuses for people for bad behavior, which I recognized that was some trauma stuff. So I healed that shit. But having said that, I watched the follow-up videos and follow-up conversations, and I keep thinking, I think I've realized why people keep missing stuff in the government, in the this and that, because they are so easily distracted. When they see the man that used to come out back in the day with the shells with the ball under it, and you had to figure out where the ball was, that's how I feel like people are moving, because some of the stuff that is happening is just so off. It don't make any fucking sense. It just doesn't make sense. And so when you ask someone, hey, are you saying that what you said about the community is right? And then you're turning around and going, well, I'm just no longer gay. I just don't feel that this is the way that it goes. No, that's not what I'm asking you. I don't care if you are screwing a gate at 8:00 every Saturday night through a hole. I don't care. What I care about is when you use words, when you weaponize words against people who are already fighting every day just to exist. I can't even drink a damn cup of coffee without listening to someone talk about who should be doing what in the bedroom, why he got on a skirt, why he got on this, why she got on that, why we got to use they. Every day, all day, there's someone in some type of conversation about us. So why would you go take your narrow ass over there? You have now become a secret agent. You have now become you're an assassin. Because you're walking around with people's secrets, people's trust and faith in you, and you're taking it into the enemy's camp. And you're using it to step up on. I have a problem with that. You have become an assassin, and I don't trust you. And I said it, and I meant it.
Fuck a becoming. I've been over here just amen and every damn thing. Fuck a becoming. Because I think it's quite funny. I do. It kind of make me cackle a little bit that a nigga would have the unmitigated goal to do what you did, right? When you go on the platform and you turn around and tell people that you didn't know that that was going to be the title of the show and that's been the fucking title of that podcast, you knew what you were doing. I made it very clear. This is an opportunistic move. This is a I need money move. This is a I need clickbait move. Now, y'all know I don't mind saying names or nothing, but I won't because I'm gonna try to be respectful. But at the end of the day, you put on this conference that's only empty. It's empty every day that you fucking have this conference to the day that you're ordaining everybody. That ain't no shit that I just came up with. That shit that I have watched because I've watched the conference every year, and that motherfucker is empty to the day of ordination. Right? When everybody need a certificate. Huh? When everybody want these invisible calls to be validated. Okay? So you need some money. Because you're recycling the same artist, you bring the same artist every year. She's the same one you bring every year. Because niggas really not rocking the way that they say that they rocking. They not supporting the way that they say that they supporting. The Christians ain't Christianing the way that they say that they like the Christian. So at the end of the day, you're doing what you know to do. You did the same shit with your Ruth and Naomi story. You went on a platform. Nobody's looking at the fucking behavior. This has been that person's behavior. This ain't no becoming. This has been the behavior. But this time, you went a little too far. You went a little too far, and it got you some backlash. Now all of a sudden you abstaining. Now all of a sudden you abstaining. You ain't been abstaining until last week. But now your ass abstaining. No more ass for you. But you'll turn around I'm real pissed off because as a person who's a part of a community who they are learning about, I'm new to community. I ain't new to being a lesbian, but I'm new to being surrounded by so many. And as a person who had a conversation with that person just a year ago in my inbox, and now this week, you got a problem? You ludicrous. But I mean, shit. The same shit with Paula White. That's what they need that $300 million for, to house all the black angels she called. That's what that for. That's what that for. It's a black angels meet and greet. Okay, let me get out of it. Let me put myself on mute. Because what y'all not going to do is sit out here. You're not going to demonize the very help that you needed just last week. You needed the people's gay ass dollars. They wasn't demonic then. They ain't never demonic on Sunday morning.
Come on.
This is money. This
Help
is
somebody.
They ain't never. Them George Washingtons and all this, they ain't never demonic on Sunday morning. Monday through Saturday, they demonic. But on Sunday morning is when they not. But just last week, your ass was getting ass. And now this week you've been born again. Bye.
But you raise an excellent point. Part of this is black church folk fault, because we elevate people to the position of pastors far too quickly. If folk are just showing up to get ordained, it's all about certification for them. It's not about education. It's a step towards making money as a charismatic voice. These people have charismatic voices. They don't have sound theology. You can tell they don't have sound theology based upon what they're out there saying. And that's the problem. And it's a
But what education he got?
This is it. Don't have it. It's charismatic and people elevate them. And here's the other thing. In my heart of hearts, I don't think this particular person actually sat down and walked all the way through with who they were as a sexual person. I don't think they really reconcile within themselves their sexual identity. It took me a while to reconcile within myself my sexual identity. And I took the time to go through it so I could be sure that I was sure of who I am. Just like I'm blackity black, I'm sure I'm a queer lesbian. And it's no back and forth. As a matter of fact, I dated a woman. I won't even call her name. We were just having the best of time. And then she said, I think God, I think being a lesbian, I think God is not pleased with me. You know what? Where my suitcase? Let me get out of here. Let me leave this joint, because you will not use me. You will not use me as the reason why you think you're going to hell. You go sleep with somebody else. Don't sleep with me. Don't rationalize it. When you make up your mind who you are, and you know that God is not coming for you to send you to that hell place, then until that time, we are done. I don't care, what I think of you as a human being. There's no more relationship here, because you don't have a made up mind. And I like hanging out with people who have a made up mind about the fact that God loves them as they are. Because all this back and forth, I'm demon possessed and I've been trying to shake it and I couldn't shake it. And then all of a sudden I woke up and God showed me. Stop lying on God. You really hadn't walked through who you are as a human being. And I think we really need to help people to walk through who they are as human beings and include that into their sexual identities instead of quickly elevating them because they have a charismatic voice to the office of pastor or bishop or deacon. Especially Black folk, we love offices. We love titles. Can't do jack shit with it, but love to have armor bearers and whatnot, but really can't do the work. And people lift them up and you see all their faults, but you don't want to stand up and say, hey, I love you, but this ain't for you. This, we're scared to tell them because we'll say, it's not my place to say who God called and who God didn't call, but it's your place to say this person is harmful in the community and they need to step aside. Now that's what we need to do.
But we don't do that. We don't do that in our community. We do not do that. We allow, I'm gonna just call a spade. We allow a lot of leadership to do a lot of damage. We allow leadership to do a lot of damage. We don't sit them down. We don't pull them in front of the church. We don't do anything but watch people rally around them, lift them up, and celebrate the mess. And then the people that speak out against the mess, they get ostracized, they get disregarded, they get talked about, they get pushed aside. So now the people that want to say something are watching. They don't want to go down on I call it the blacklist. All of a sudden, nobody's inviting you anywhere. Nobody's speaking to you. If we want to have a real conversation, let's have a real conversation. Yeah, we could talk about Voldemort and what he did out there all day long. But can we have a conversation about an affirming movement filled with some of the most amazing, most phenomenal speakers and pastors and leaders and teachers and all that? What are we doing? What are we doing to the hurt that is being caused within here? We're not holding people accountable in here. And so now we're trying to figure out how to hold people accountable out there. Where's the safety in here?
because we're scared of them. Let's just face facts. In many Black churches, Black members are afraid of their pastor, and that's cloaked under the garment of love and respect. And oh, by the way, this one scripture that just keeps beating Black people down: touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm. That has done so much harm to Black members. And when Black members raise up and say, the fuck you talking about, then we're going to get somewhere on this harmful, very, very harmful leadership. Really is buffoonery in the pulpit, and we allow a lot of it. I mean, how many churches have you known pastors who have been stealing from congregants? Stealing from them, have 2 and 3 outside relationships. You know, all of this stuff is going on, but people are afraid to speak up because, oh, by the way, that's pastor. And touch not my anointed. And to be really, to talk gender, he's only a man. How many times do they say that about Black women who are pastoring? She's only a woman. They'll put a Black woman out the pulpit so quickly, it'll make your head turn. But a Black man, touch not mine. He's only a man. You know, we all may, he's only a man. Touch not mine anointed has got us into so much trouble. And likewise with the scripture about pray for the leaders of this country. That's why there are a lot of Black people who are afraid to talk out, to speak out against this regime, because they think God placed that criminal in office. That's not God. And a lot of these pastors don't need to be in the pulpit pastoring. I'm telling you this. But we think numbers equal anointing. Numbers do not equal anointing. You know, it does not. And we feel like because they're pastoring large churches that the anointing of God is on their life. No, they just know how to talk a good game. They just know how to run a good job. And you keep allowing them to do it. And let's just speak the truth. I have a tiny congregation, but I speak the truth every Sunday and love the people. And I'm not trying to take, I give more than I will ever take from my church. Ever. But see, that's the kind of dynamic that a lot of people aren't accustomed to. Well, we like people to tell us, to be over us, to lord over us. We love to have people who just gonna tell us what to do. And the church is filled with ass kissers.
My God.
Well, I did, Dr. Lightsey, I did learn last week that the skin that's right there, back there, is the same skin that makes up the lips. I learned that recently. I've just been telling people, hoping that they understand why things are going the way that they are.
Well, thank you.
I think part of the problem, what came up for me is that Q, people are asking for you to unmute yourself because they want to hear everything you have to say.
Y'all don't want me to unmute. I'm over here turned up. I mean, just
stay unmuted.
Stay
unmuted. But part of you talked about the affirming church, Rennie, and there's so many members of the okay. So going back to the person we shall not name, you can tell how they felt about themselves by who they associated with, and how they what their theology was, right? So if you are an affirming church and you are still, preaching this colonized gospel, right? This gospel of bondage and not liberation. And the only thing that's different about you is that you happen to be gay or queer, right? But the churches that many of us have come out from, right? You're preaching the same thing. And so if you subscribe to maybe the apostolic, right? And listen, I'm not. If you're apostolic and you're Pentecostal and you're Church of God in Christ and all of that, and you still feel good about that in your queerness, still for you. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. But part of the issue is that affirming churches in particular need to separate themselves from a colonized gospel. Yes. So Tyler said affirming to me is just a lift and shift of mainstream church. You just get to say you gay.
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same.
Please unmute Q.
I'm just saying that is a very valid fucking point because that's all it is, right? I use myself as an outsider. You three here today, you are within the church as far as having leadership positions, having titles, right? I'm a nigga from the outside. You tell me why I want to come to your church when I already tell the world that I'm gay. What I need to come to your, what's the difference? Tell me what the difference is. Show me the difference. Why do I need to come inside of your building to experience something that I experience in my living room?
Yeah, but you know what, cute? Let me just say this. There's some things that happen. I'm not even using the word affirming. There's some synergy, some dynamic that takes place when community is together. I don't care if that's in the church or in the nightclub. There's a certain synergy. And it's really beautiful when it can happen in the church, when people understand that their ultimate aim is to try to create beloved community among like-minded persons of faith. Now, I'm kind of Tillichian here. I'm thinking Paul Tillich. I think wherever you are as a child of God, the church is. Okay. And I'm thinking that's the spiritual church. But the institutional church, it really has, especially Black churches, the institutional Black church has really been an instrument for the liberation, towards the liberation of Black people in these here ununited states for a long time. And we were able to do some good work. I think there's still a possibility for churches to do good work, but it will take us coming together and doing it. I'm not, and parishioners at my church will tell you this. I don't preach about numbers. I don't preach about people, we need your money. You know what I preach consistently about? Joy, peace, loving. I preach consistently about those things. Not hurting one another. I preach about those human dynamics because I think after a long week, people need to get to a place and a spot where they can hear somebody love on them and tell them, hey, what happened to you this week was not good, but you in a place where people love the Lord and love you unconditionally. That's kind of like, I'm still kind of holding out in that way for the possibility of the church, even for people who think that they're not part of the church. Because I think a lot of people who say they're not part of the church really are part of the church. I watch them in the nightclub. Don't tell me you ain't never sang a gospel song in the nightclub. Don't tell me people never stopped and near about shouted in the night. You create that. So that's where I am. I don't know that maybe I'm old school there, but I think that kind of synergy is possible. And that's what I work towards.
I think it is possible. I just think it's hard for many people to see the possibility because they are blinded by the past events, or should I say current events? Because I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't care how many times you try to justify a money line to me.
Oh,
The shit ain't gonna make sense. I don't care how many times you say, well, she didn't follow my exact instructions because I called for the $2,000 line. And she came up in the 2000 with $1,200. That shit is harmful because first of all, If anybody really went and fact checked, because my ass did, I went and watched the service. At the end of the day, wasn't no rejoicing when Shorty gave her $1.50
Come
and
on.
$1.60. It was dry as a bag of fucking rice. So you help me understand when you're currently doing this thing, it makes it hard for people to visually see the possibility. I definitely believe that it is possible. I have experienced some communities, you know what I'm saying, that really are prioritized on teaching love and unity and being an actual safe space.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna cap. I've also seen instances where your leader was raised apostolic Church of God in Christ. They just happen to be gay, but they still operate.
True.
Still operate.
You're
Right?
right. You're right.
In that hierarchy. And so it's just like this is current. And I think that the more current we see, the more people struggle with the visibility of possibility.
But see, this is the thing in a virtual kind of context. So I think church folk have been conditioned to see that kind of stuff, and that kind of stuff goes viral. I stand in my pulpit and I say to church folk, look, if you don't have money, if you have to pay your light bill, you keep your money and pay your light bill this week. Okay, because I don't want you without lights in your house. That has never gone viral. And matter of fact, members sitting in the church shocked that a pastor would say that. You know, they're accustomed to pastors saying, well, you know, the lights have to stay on and somebody has to pay them, direct them music ministry, and these bills have to be paid. Well, hell, people come to church knowing that the church is dependent upon money to function. They don't need the pastor to beat them across the head with that. But those kinds of things don't go viral, okay? Because it doesn't get people's hair up. What the things that go viral are those kinds of moments that you're talking about. And so people come to church. There are a lot of people who come to church accustomed to a pastor abusing them from the pulpit, slinging mud from the pulpit, running games on them from the pulpit, and a little storefront preacher like myself who's just trying to love on the people. It will never make headlines.
Yeah, because to the people, you don't have a name. It's not even, it's what they see is the people with the names. Like we just saw that Dr. Bryant, instead of tithes and offerings, he wants the people to bring food. You get those moments because he has a name, but I'm sure communities like yours have been doing it. You see what I'm saying? But there's no name, and that's what I hate about it, is that you only get to see the things of the people with the name. And so the question then becomes, when do we as a community research and find out who's doing what? Because if I don't follow Lightsey, I don't know what Lightsey's doing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm banking on what everybody else within my community, if we use Facebook as a hub, I'm looking to see what other people are posting with the people that I know of because I can't see it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
and
that's
so
a thing. But that's a spiritual and psychological self-esteem thing. We follow people because of personality and because of numbers. And this is the responsibility of the church. You really make your monsters. We make our monsters in the church. We lift them high. They high and lifted up. We make them paragons of virtue in the church. And we don't look for those moments when people are being human. When preachers like myself will stand over the pulpit. Every church I've ever pastored, I come out every time. I say, look, y'all, I drink, serve me Merlot or Malbec. I'm good with you. I cuss. So people here tell you that they heard your pastor cuss, and tell them you already know. And the only reason I can't play bid whiz is because y'all haven't taught me how. That I start that off at these churches. You see what I'm saying?
And she eat pound cake.
And I eat pound cake. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I give all that because these are vices and these are ways of being that people have been taught are sinful. And I start the game out, I start the conversation out, trying to disabuse people of their ideologies about sin. You know what sin is? When this national harm that's coming from the White House, that's sinful. When you take money from people trying to survive, that's sinful. When you run games and these money lines, that's sinful. I get up and walk out. I've been known to get up and walk out of churches when pastors say, bring me the money, and the money, put this money at my feet. I get up and walk out. I have taught my children to get up and walk out. That money stuff, the love of money, and Black people think that's honorable. It's nothing honorable about people taking your money when you trying to make it, when you striving to make it, when you working 2 and 3 jobs, when your SNAP about to go out, and they gonna raise an offering for you one Sunday out the year. Hell with that. To hell with that. There's nothing honorable about that. They just giving you a little cut of what they're already taking home. And you, look at what my pastor. Okay, so it's a moment. But every offering you receive should be tithed back to the people in need.
Mic drop. Sexual chocolate.
You can't say nothing after that. You can't.
Ain't shit
Listen,
else.
I gotta put this back up because.
And if your light bill due,
go
don't
ahead
put
and-
nothing in the offer plate.
But you know, I just want to say this. What I can appreciate with this conversation is, I think because we all sit in a different place. You know, Q, earlier you talked about, you know, you being outside the church and us being in the church, and I think I'm hybrid. I don't think I'm in the church. I think I'm more in the community than the church. But I think that's why I get so passionate about what I was talking about earlier, because when we talk about inclusivity, when we talk about interfaith, when we talk about bridging the gap and stuff, like, what does that really mean? Because I can tell you that since I've had changes in my theology, like, people show up different towards me. Like, it's almost like if you don't believe exactly the way that it is, the way that I believe, I can't be bothered with you. So if you don't say that you're Christian, I can't be bothered with you. If you don't believe what I believe exactly, I can't be bothered with you. So I'm appreciating this conversation because I feel like it's bringing different voices, different angles to the table. And I just wanted to say that before it got too late and I forgot, that I'm really appreciating the lenses that are at this table, because I don't consider myself a theologian in that scholarly way, right? But in that experiential way, absolutely. My theology is lived. And the people that I serve, the places I go, like, that's lived. I'm in the midst of stories, in the midst of narratives, and they all won't come back and try to figure out how to make it make sense in the church, or how to make it make sense in the sacred text, or how to make it, when pain, disappointment, fear, abandonment, all those things come into play. Some people don't get the opportunity to redirect. They step away and they're done. And their soul, or how their spirit, or however you identify, however you believe, is just set to wonder and be tortured, because people make statements around who you have to be. You know, to circle back to what Dr. Lightsey said at the beginning, that God has to love inside of condition. We have this punishment theology where the reward of God is only if we are holy. in this place of holiness, but holiness may be still right, but if you're making people less whole, then how right is that?
I mean, it's not. We're all holy. Maybe that, I'm different in this regard, and it's because I grew up very, very poor. One thing will hurt me more than anything else is for people to feel like I'm unapproachable. I'm not that kind of, as y'all would say, I'm not that kind of nigga. I'm not. I want to be with the people. This is why I pastor part-time. It keeps my feet in the community, keeps me having conversations with people. I never want to be on a pedestal. That's not the place for me, because I'm just, Bishop Flunder talked about me being kind of like a thug scholar, but really truly this is this is how I grew up, and I never want to forget where I came from. This is why I never want people to feel like they can't approach me. I don't want people to feel like they can't talk to me. I don't want people to feel like they can't come up to me and say, "Can I take a picture with you?" I'm the one who's honored by all that. I feel humble. I really do. I had to talk to my girlfriend about it. I tell her all the time when people walk away, I just don't, I don't, that always gets me when people say can, and it just feels a certain way, hits me a certain way. It's because I want people to know that yes, respect where I've been. Yeah, I have 3 degrees, and I want, earned degrees. I want that respected. I don't want that denigrated. But at the same time, my degrees do not set me above who you are as a human being. My ordination does not, people say you are separate. I never bought into that theology. I'm part of the community. I live on the west side because this is the best side of Chicago. But yeah, I always want to be with the people. And I think this is where the theology gets warped. And I keep pointing back to that. Even musicians and vocalists, you can't even get to them. This stardom stuff, it's kind of like hurt. So yeah, I want people to just, come on, man. I want them to be able to love the people.
And I think that is a major ordeal. Speaking of artistry, I tell people all the time, y'all niggas make me grand. You make me grand in your own eyes. When I am far from it, I'm trying to get an invite to the house so I can come sit back, drink, crack jokes, twerk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those. But what gets me is people are very afraid to approach. Y'all, you say you need somebody to come sing and you need a praise and worship leader for a day, because I'm not trying to be permanent. But you say that you need somebody to come and sing. You need the arts. But I know you gonna cost an arm and a leg. You don't know shit. Because you ain't asked. You haven't approached. You haven't talked to me. And don't come talking to me with, hey doc, I really want to put you on. I don't need to be put on, nigga. Just ask me. Tell me what it is you need. Because all of us are not like that. A lot of us are trying to find spaces to impart our artistry because we ain't welcome at all the tables.
Right.
We're not given opportunities. Y'all think these opportunities come every 5 minutes? They do not. I am still not invited to a lot of tables because of how I identify, and I won't be quiet about it. And I won't hold it. So I can't come up sing about the Lord thy God, at your place because I'm not willing to wear ruffles. I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to you know what I'm saying, to come in there and be who I am and give you an experience. But people do. They make you grand in their eyes. It ain't that it's you. They do it in their own eyes. And they really do. I ain't gonna lie. Social media got a lot of people fucked off. Because a lot of the things that they are doing are based off the shit that they see on social media.
or
got.
or they disrespect you. Like they
Yeah.
would never ask. They would never ask. They would never ask a particular singers to come and sing for them for $75. But then
No.
they'll approach
They
you
want to give me a chicken dinner
for $75. You know what I'm saying? There are some things, and I don't speak about. There are places I go. I don't expect any honorarium. And matter of fact, I give it back to them if they give it to me. But don't disrespect me either. You see,
like let's have a conversation.
Right. If you're paying so and so $2,000, don't come talking about paying me $100 because I don't have any children. And I live in the city and all. Don't disrespect me now. Because then you make the other side.
That's another show. That's a
Because
whole other episode on
in real
another
life,
show. We can talk about that.
Because niggas really be acting like that. And I'm not saying that I will come for free. So please don't get that misconstrued.
Yeah, I wanted you to correct that.
Yeah, but what I am saying is when you come and you have a conversation with me and you tell me what it is you need and we talk about it and you're upfront with me, not trying to slick talk my ass into giving you a service.
Right.
But Doc, I ain't rich. Fuck, I don't even know where that came from. I didn't even ask you none of that. That already lets me know that you probably got the money and you don't want to get up off your ass and give it. You put your own foot in your mouth. What I want you to do is I want you to come respect me. Come and talk to me about it. Tell me what it is you're looking for so that I can also, which a lot of niggas don't do, is make sure I can carry through with the assignment. I'm not just trying to take shit because it's a gig. Right. I want to make sure that I'm the one that's supposed to be fulfilling the assignment. So no, I'm not telling y'all I can't come because you only offer me 150. Believe it or not, that's good compared to some of the shit I've experienced before. But I'm saying, be respectful. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. You want to make sure that y'all not just taking speaking engagements and singing engagements and dancing engagements, whatever the goddamn engagement is. You're not just taking it so that you can have your damn name on a flyer. Fuck a flyer. Because they can fuck you over on that too and you be looking like shit.
Well, hold on. Speaking of flyers, I'm hoping... Watch how I do this. Y'all gonna like this. I'm hoping that the next flyer for Walking Heavy will not just have Q on it, but it will have like the Lightsey. I feel like that I feel like we, or even if we come together once a month, I just feel like it's us. I feel like that is us.
And it's intergenerational. I'm loving talking with you all. I'm just really loving talking and everybody. It's like the audience. You all are kind of like looking in on this kind of conversation where we're kind of vibing with each other, like sisters sipping and just talking and enjoying one another. So I'm enjoying this. I really am.
Yeah. So we
have all walked every day.
We're going to work it out behind the scenes, but we definitely want to take a moment to give all of the thanks to Dr. Lightsey for getting up this morning and kicking us off. This has truly, truly made my day. Like, I am here right now. And I also want to take a moment to welcome and thank Q for joining the Walking Heavy team. And I'm just going to say, I believe Dr. Lightsey is going to join this Walking Heavy team, but we're going to put that out there. Since we got to be, we manifestation, let me rub my chakra and bring Solera back up here. She's looking like she really wants you to join us.
Baby in the thing.
Yeah, she's staying with me. So you got y'all know.
I'm a sci-fi nerd.
I'm an alien all day, every day. But and then the people, all of the people that joined us today, just everybody chiming in and talking, sharing. Just thank you for allowing not allowing, let me watch how I say this. Thank you for seeing that this was going to be what it was, raw, unapologetic, unscripted, unfiltered, and y'all stayed and let it be.
Yeah.
Now don't get off of here and be like, oh, y'all gotta watch this because they was cussing and stuff. Don't be that person. I speak right now that your internet will not forward that video to a soul. To a soul. I'm gonna give you the color purple ending on it, to a soul. Because this is the atmosphere that we are cultivating here.
Yeah.
Now on Sunday, don't bring Saturday into Sunday. We're not doing that. Because y'all get a little carried away. Y'all think y'all can talk to any kind of way. We're not doing that. But this is a needed space. And so I thank everyone. And Sue, I would sing my gang song, the 2 to 4, the big 8 to 9, but I ain't gonna go through all that right now. Just know I know it. Just know I know it. Listen, but I love you. And so I just wanted to say
I love you all. I'm so appreciative of us walking heavy together today. And so, family, those of you who watch, listen, big ups again, like Renee said, to the audience. Okay, if you enjoyed today, please be sure to follow us on Walking Heavy Show on Facebook and on Instagram. Because we just getting started. Stay tuned for more Walking Heavy. We'll be back soon. We'll let you know what the schedule is gonna be. And I'll be back next week with Inspire. You know what? We need Q to sing. What were you singing? Go ahead, say it again. Okay, you're okay. All right. But Inspire will be back next week Saturday. But we will be letting you know really, really soon when the next Walking Heavy will be and where.
Yeah, we got to work that out with Dr. Lightsey.
Yeah, we're gonna work it out.
We're working it out with Dr. Lightsey. The holidays coming. We got to come back with the.
Oh yeah.
We can't walk heavy without you.
Y'all bless me. Y'all really bless.
You're the light.
Oh,
you're the light.
Oh Lord.
We the UCAS to set it off.
Look, it's already in your name. And see, you gotta start with why the fuck was I invited? See, that's the opening line of the show.
I was trying to figure
and we gotta end it with them motherfuckers trying to kill us.
They trying.
That's what we gotta end it.
They trying. Them motherfuckers trying to kill us.
You heard? Huh?
They are.
I'm just saying.
They really are.
All right, y'all. So we're about to hand people back their Saturday, the rest of their Saturday. We're gonna eat some breakfast. For those of us that haven't eaten yet, keep walking heavy with us, y'all. We got some real good stuff coming up. Please, if you have any ideas for topics and stuff like that, let us know. Let us know, and we'll be sure to bring that. What's the baby's name again, Rennie?
Her name is Solera.
Okay,
She's
we think Solera is our mascot, and so we think. We thank Solera for hanging out with us today. And all of you, love you so much. Thank you for joining us. We will see you again next time. Until then, keep walking heavy.